Hello, this is Mike from Bienvenue Motorsports and VeloxRacing.com. Today we're going to show you ActiveTune from FTecu, which is installed and configured using the FTecu tuning suite. ActiveTune is a new solution and is unique in the marketplace because we take all the parameters from within the bike in terms of sensors that we see because we're inside the ECU. And using our wideband lambda sensor and ActiveTune controller, we can change the fueling on the fly so the bike is optimally running, hitting air fuel ratio targets that you decide. As you can see here, I've opened one of our Racing Subscription Pro maps. I've enabled the ActiveTune module, and it will now install those components into that map for me. And we have the dialog box up that tells us that it's now been installed into that race team map. Now in the tree on the left hand side, you'll see that we now have some new options. So we've got an ActiveTune monitor, which we will show you a little bit more about later. This is really used for dyno tuners and for you to look at the trims that were set while you rode and apply them at a later date. But we'll cover that later after we've taken the bike for a ride. At this moment, we have two choices. We can have a live correction mode, so the bike will actively tune itself while you ride, or we can just log the trims that the software suggests it would have made while we were riding. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to disable the live correction mode. I also want you to make sure that the disable closed loop is set to true in your standard ECU settings. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and flash these settings to the bike. Air fuel ratio target. Now this is the most important part of the system. So default, you'll see that these are the settings that FlashTune recommend that they found to be good settings. We have done a little bit of playing with this on the dyno to create our own maps, which if you purchase FlashTune and ActiveTune from ourselves, we will let you have our map that we have created, or you can go in here and you can adjust the fueling yourself. So for the R1, an air fuel ratio target of between 13 and 13.5 is good, and you can just change those cells. As I say, we have a map that we'll pass on to our customers, which is what we found to be a very good air fuel ratio target map for the R1. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write the ECU with ActiveTune, and as I say, we've put that into a passive mode. So it's just gonna log, and it's gonna suggest changes it would have made if we were in live correction mode. And when we finish flashing here, we're going to go out, take the bike out for a ride, just not very far, just around the block, just so we can show you some data in the ActiveTune monitor page, air fuel ratio monitor page, and show you then how we can apply them back onto the ECU as a new base map within the ECU. So we've been out for a ride, we've come back in. Just a reminder, do not turn the ignition key off on the bike. If you do, you'll lose any of the data that we've collated while we've been on our ride. So hit the run stop switch, plug in your bike side connector adapter, click the connect button, and you will see this table appear, which shows you the live trims that the bike would have done if it was in live correction mode. You can't apply any of these settings. So the options are grayed out on the right hand side there until you hit the disconnect button. Once you hit the disconnect button, you can apply the learned trims to your base map, and you can apply smoothing of those trims. Okay, so we now have a dialog box up that says the trims have been applied to the TPS versus RPM and to the map versus RPM for all the cylinders. Would you like to write those to the file now? We select yes. At this point, we turn the ignition key off and click OK. And now turn the ignition back on. I click OK, and the ECU will be rewritten with those suggested trims applied to the base map within the ECU. Now we've finished writing the ECU, we can go in and change the ActiveTune mode from passive to live correction mode. So all we do is scroll down, go to the dialog box and change the dialog to enable and reflash the ECU. And this will mean that as we ride, rather than just suggesting trims, it will make the trims on the fly to the air fuel ratio, to the fueling maps, and to the map versus RPM and the TPS versus RPM maps, and the bike will tune itself to your chosen air fuel ratio targets as per the air fuel ratio target page. Thanks for watching our video today. If you have any questions, or if you would like to purchase FlashTune or the ActiveTune module, then please visit our website, which is www.veloxracing.com. Thank you very much.